Well, hello everybody. As you can see, I've still got my house is a big mess, but that's not my problem this week. My problem is one of inventory. You just got an order, and over here, see on my little distribution section, I got 2 systems left. So that's down to running out of chips. And the chips are en route and they're supposed to get here tomorrow. So this is called scraping the bottom of the barrel. I've got 2 systems left. I've got 2 orders, and then after that we're out of stock. I've just found something interesting. I've been worried about, oh my gosh, I've run out of these MP3 playing chips. Let me just search through everything in case I've got some more just while I'm waiting for the ordered ones to turn up. And as I'm looking around, I find this really old box. And when I opened it and had a look, it was the original submarine game. And this game was my first idea for Truman Toys and Games. And this was my first effort. And it's very clunky and it didn't work very well, but it was the genesis of Audio Adventures. But what's kind of interesting as well was I found the first business plan. I'll spin that round, you'll see we've got March 2021, and this was my idea that I'm going to start creating electronic toys. I have no idea. I've only been studying electronics seriously for about 6 months. I thought I'll make a business plan, and it's interesting because it forced me to think about things like patents and workflow and bringing products to market. So it was all about getting things in the right order. I think it was originally geared towards, I'm showing this to people, let's see if we can raise some venture capital. Or that was one of the routes to market, which I decided not to take. And so yeah, we've got the Deep Warfare, but what? And then I put together a game called Time Bomb, which was like electronics, and you had to cut the red wire, like physically cut the red wire, and then one of the toys was How Close Is the Ghost. So this is back in 2021 when I came up with the idea for it. But back then it was more like a doll's house with lights and sound. So you get the sound of thunder and lights would flash to be the lightning, and you had a figure to move around inside this doll's house. So that was the way I'd originally envisioned it. But it's kind of fascinating when I look back now and I realise it's, for everything that I've discovered, it's quite, what's the word? It's kind of amateurish. But actually it isn't, because this was basically just choosing the direction that I wanted to go. Okay, I'm starting electronics. I'm going to create a business. Let's start looking. Now, luckily in this box as well, I did find some old thing. What does that say? Bad memory, bad chips. But this was the very first thing that I manufactured. And I called this the Truman Universal Board. And the idea was that this is kind of like Arduino, you know, it's like a little development kit, but it was one that I designed, and all the toys I was going to design would use this architecture. So if we had a common architecture, we didn't have to keep making new electronics for every game. We'll just use the same basic electronics for everything. But I'm glad I found this, because it means I found some extra chips if I need them. If these chips don't come in, I can use these donor boards. I really don't want to now, because this feels like a part of my history. But I do have some extra chips. Well, it's a good job I found those chips, those extra chips on the donor board. I just got a note through my door saying that there is a customs charge. They sent an email that said there may be a customs charge, but they didn't send another email saying, yeah, can you pay it? No, instead they came to my door, put a note through and said, oh, now can you go online and pay, and then we'll deliver it. When would you like us to deliver your item? Monday the 28th. Oh my goodness, these people. How hard is it to get something delivered?